All right, Zach, I'm throwing you a curveball right off the top here. I've got three media bits, movies, TV shows. There are two things that they all have in common. Let's see if you can get either one of them. Comparing between Saturday Night Live, the show All That, and the movie Trolls Band Together. What do those three things all have in common?
Do they all involve Keeman Thompson?
You got one. The other one is they all involve a cold open, which is what we're doing right now. Hit the music. And then we'll edit in the theme music here. And then that's a cold open. Change up the format a little. Hello, everyone, and welcome to 321 Presents. I am your host, Nick. I am your elder millennial art school dropout and graduate. And I am here, as always, with our math wizard, Zach.
Hello, hello.
Zach, I noticed that we have both done some thinking about one of our topics of discussion from last week. While we were talking about him and War of the Worlds Ice Cube version. The topic of...
I like that we have to clarify.
Yes. I mean, we kind of covered all of them, but that was the main focus. We got into discussing movies that are very poorly rated that we love. And I see that we've both done a little research on this. What else did you come up with on your list? We already said you had Friday, and what else?
I don't know what House Party is rated, but I think those are like not super greatly rated, but are cult classics. One movie that is just awful that no one really likes that I love is Wild Wild West.
That's a great pull. That's exactly, I think, the sort of pull for that question. Similar thing for me, I found. I went to go scroll through the IMDb list of 100 worst rated movies, and on that list, I found one of my childhood favorites, Batman and Robin.
I do like that. That one is another one of my... Is that the Arnold Schwarzenegger
That is
one?
the Arnold Schwarzenegger
and,
with all
Uma
the puns
Thurman.
and... Yeah, all the goons on rollerblades acting like it's ice skates. An absolute classic. And the one that I think cinematically captures the feel of like the old 50s, 60s Adam West Batman series, where it was like very over-the-top campy.
Yeah, because that one is lower than Wild Wild West, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's not well received by anyone who's like... Now, that's not how you make movies, but it's still a great time. So yeah, those are great pulls. That's where I wanted to start off with. I've got another one here that I think we can kind of see if we have anything at the ready and ponder for a week or so. Are there any musicians or musical artists that you've like either heard on the radio or like gotten a Spotify shuffle that like really hit the spot? You're like, oh, that's nice. I'm gonna add that to my list, and then you go to like see what else that artist has done, and nothing else is like that one song you like.
Yes, to know those artists off the top of my head, not a clue.
Okay, but yeah, it was a thing. I'd done some digging this week. I had some time on my hands at work. I needed more musical variety, so I was like, what are some of these new ones that have been popping up? And the one that got me, and this isn't like new news or anything, but I just started listening to the back catalog, and I wish there were more like the one of Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh yeah, I don't think you'd be an Olivia Rodrigo fan.
Like she does a couple where like and it's the ones where she includes drums is kind of the giveaway of when she's gonna rock out, and it's pretty fun. And then I went to go find some more of those in the back catalog, and there's a lot of piano. A lot of solo, acoustic, slow guitar, and don't get me wrong, she's a fine songwriter and all that, just not the same cup of tea I was served that got me into the building.
I don't know if I have any main artists like that. My main artists are pretty like set in stone.
Because it's a pretty common thing, like to be commercially successful, you kind of have to keep delivering in the same genre, or at least like some expectation. Like Beck was one of the first people in the 90s who it was like, I don't know what he's going to put out next, but I guess I'll listen.
It was not the same. That is one artist where I do like the one song and I could throw the rest away.
Yeah, because he definitely journeys around. But yeah, we'll let that one simmer around a little bit. See if we come up with any other pulls on that one. That's just one of the ones that got in my head this week. I would love to tell you this week, Zach, about a reality show that I found on Netflix, a Japanese production called Run for the Money.
I've seen this. I have not seen it, but I've seen the trailers and sort of the lead up for it. This is another one of those things where it's very divisive because the reality TV market, especially the game show variety, has become so large these days.
Yes, there's a lot of variety.
There's a whole network for it now.
Exactly. So tell me what you know about Run for the Money.
So if I understood the premise correctly, it's like the Netflix version, and I might be confusing too because there's like an American one as well that I've seen
potentially
an episode one. Is this the one that it's like very Japanese and you have sort of like the little challenges and whatnot? Or is it sort of like a Traders?
So there's a mix of both going on. So the one I'm talking about specifically is on Netflix, but it is still just the Japanese production with the Netflix like cover on the logo intro. But it's still like all the Japanese announcers because it sounds like, just context clues I picked up watching this one season of it, and it's only a 4-episode, like hour-long episode each run, is that this is a pretty long-running show over in Japan because one of the idols who was in it was like, oh yeah, I remember growing up as a kid watching this and thinking how great it must feel if you're the winner, so I want to do that. And then she immediately gets caught 30 seconds later, as you do. But the premise is you start with a group of, I believe, either 25 or 30 various notorious folks. This one is a mix of like, there were movie actors, some comedy show people, they had a handful of actual athletes, a couple recently retired baseball players, an Olympic figure skater. And then the reason I was tuning in was my favorite K-pop boy band, SHINee, and the most athletic and competitive man in the K-pop industry, Minho, who was there to represent the K-pop.
Debatable, but we're...
Oh no, this man... For his military service, like most K-pop stars will be like, oh, can I do the military band or something? Minho went for the Marines.
Yeah, I see that, but also I feel I have my own biases, but sure.
That's fine. He has a long pedigree. I can list. He's a son of the. His dad was a coach on the Olympic soccer team.
Yeah, I think personally, if we're on this conversation, I think JK is probably up there. JK is one. He's literally like an athlete kind of dude.
Sure. So anyway, Minho has this whole reputation to uphold.
But while we're here, have you ever heard of the term gamer?
In my normal context of Western gamer.
So there is this term here, and at least in the Western world, it's called a gamer. And what they're referring to is someone who just makes a living riding on these game shows. They're the gamers.
Gotcha.
They're the ones you always need to watch out for.
Interesting. Now I'm not familiar with that as a terminology, but that does kind of fit. Yeah, some of these guys.
It's just a new terminology because I spent a lot of time. I binged like 2 seasons of Trader. I threw out one of the seasons because I just couldn't. But the 2 seasons of Traders, it was a big term throwing on. Oh, these guys are the gamers, and it was like, well. They've been on a game show, and I guess they're a little bit more thoughtful than the rest of you.
You understand there's a strategy to be had. Yeah, that always kind of gives you a leg up for sure. In this one, our star cast, 25, 30, whatever it is set loose in an amusement park, essentially. This big sprawling campus, lots of buildings, lots of different like kind of pathways. There's a river going across with multiple crossings. All of this is important to know because the premise is they are let loose into this amusement park and then are being pursued by the agents of the host of the game. And the hunters, as they are known, given very fun editing. They're all wearing like black sunglasses, black suits, and then like they're hooked up with GoPros and stuff. So we're constantly cutting to like their POV, which they've done a lot of fun filters on to make them seem more like Terminators.
I like that.
It's super fun. The hunters are out chasing them. Basically, and it's kind of like they're doing a video game patrol of like they'll walk a path or something, but if you catch in their range of view, they just full out sprint at you. And so it's a challenge. It's a timed challenge.
This sounds like a Matrix sort of situation.
It's hilarious, and because in the wide shots you can see every star person has a little 3-person production team running along with them, trying to keep up with the footage. It's fantastic. So entertainment value is there 100%. as the day goes on, because they start in like the middle of the night, they release them at like 1 a.m. in the morning, and they're like, see how long you can last. The last person will walk away with, I think the pot in this one was 5 million yen, which equates to about $250,000 American.
Which is not bad if it's just if it's 4 episodes, I assume it's like 4 days-ish or less.
Oh no, this was 1 day of filming.
1 day? Then yeah, that's easy.
It's a great deal for the actor.
Good turnaround.
If you win. If you get caught, you get nothing.
I'm always can you really lose? Because if you do it because some people, there's a game show we can talk about. There's multiple game shows we can talk about. But is it, if you get the exposure and whatnot, are you really losing? If people fall in love with you.
Although you kind of have to have a level of that already to have gotten on the show. At least in this one, this is not a some random people who applied to be on the show. No, this is all A-listers, stars, people you have seen on TV before. Which is kind of the fun of it. You're getting to see a more human side of them although it is very performative because they're Japanese and they understand the craft and whatnot. But so over the course of the 4 episodes, different challenges are thrown at them that require teamwork and coordination. You have to meet up at this place to one of them was we have 5 more hunters that are in these cases, and they literally had the people in plexibox things on wheels, and it took 2 people to wheel them into a lockdown zone so that they couldn't be activated. But at the same time, they also put out a bounty for anyone who wanted to become a trader. You had to go to a location to pick up a phone number and then call in, and that was your snitch line. And if you found other players, you could snitch on them and win more money.
Does only one person win this?
Only one person wins in the end. They only allowed 2 people to be traders. Once 2 people signed up, they're like, okay, that's the trader application's closed.
Sold out, yeah.
2 of you are traders now. Good luck.
Is it a one-time trader call?
No, you get to trader for the rest of the game.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You can be snitching the entire time, but everyone else knows that there's traders afoot, so everyone's super suspicious. Very fun. At the end, the challenge was you had to get to these 4 different locations, reel in a balloon, an enormous balloon from the sky that they had on these enormous wires.
Like a weather balloon.
This type of thing. I don't know, what is it, 100 meters or something? It was a lot of reeling they had to do to get it in to prevent groups of 25 hunters. And in the end, they only got 3 of the 4. So when Minho, my favorite boy, was the last one standing, he got hunted down with 34 seconds left on the timer. So he did not win, and no one
wins.
No one won the entire season. And Leo and I were completely shocked by that. It felt very un-American.
That's just the way. Ain't that the way?
There was one mechanic, though.
There is. I feel like that's not completely un-American, because for the most part, there's always the deal or no deal. You might win, you might not win.
That's true. Deal or deal is very high stakes.
Family Feud, especially at the end there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay. That's a fair counter argument. I'll take those points of evidence. The only person who walked away with money from this was the man who did not use the trader mechanic that was built into the game, but instead physically picked up one of his weaker comedian competitors and threw him in the hunter's way to go and run to the surrender phone, which was where you you just gave up the chance to win the grand prize. And you took whatever was in the money count was kind of just rolling up for the longer you survive.
Yeah, for whoever wants to.
And he just cashed out essentially, and he was the only one who walked away with money at 100,000 yen.
That's a good. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty wild to me. I had not really encountered a long form reality show like that where they were just and there's no winner this time.
I kind of like that. I like the opportunity because sometimes I don't want the last person to win. That's mostly how
salt.
Yeah, there's a little bit of
salt
and pettiness to it because sometimes they're the worst person, the one who's the most strategic and maybe the most conniving and backstabbing person wins, and sometimes you just don't want that. And sometimes they just got to go. Unfortunately, it was Minho this time, who I'm sure was a good person and tried his very best. But
he represented well, polite as ever. He was running till the very end, but 1v27 was pretty bad odds.
That's weakness. Could outrun them.
There really was. It was largely a strategical location thing. He kind of trapped himself on a bridge and
swim. No, water's dangerous. You die there.
Yeah, generally. That was my take on the Run for the Money Netflix show that came out a few years ago, but I just got to it a little earlier this summer.
There's a ton of just Netflix shows sort of running amok. There's a new one that one of my favorite YouTube groups, the Sidemen, do, that they got a deal on Netflix called it just slipped my mind. 1 second here while I look.
I'm trying to think, what was Markiplier's show on? Is that on Amazon?
Yeah, Markiplier did the Amazon one. The Sidemen do one called Inside, which they take all these people, celebrities, streamers, influencers, whatever, and they throw them basically inside what is effectively a nice prison. They basically they take all their stuff, they turn it in, and they get basically uniforms. They get a bed, and they get a place to sit, sort of like a community room, and they have all these opportunities to do something. And the idea here is you start with a pool of $1 million, and you can go get your luxurious items for a price. So like this season, they did something very, very mean, which I had not seen before, is they have like a huge sectional, which people you can go sit on. This time, which the sectional is made out of concrete.
Oh, geez.
So they said, you can buy the cushions for your sectional, but it's going to cost you $10,000 out of your prize pool.
Oh my God.
Yes, and then for the crazier thing is like, so it's just going on continuously. If you want to take a shower, the options are you can take a cold shower for free, or you get hot water for $1,000 a minute.
Really towing the lines on the necessities of.
No, we're not done yet.
Okay.
For food, your options are you can upgrade your meals. They do all the luxury things where everyone is usually 21 and up, so you can have some alcohol. You can do what they call a meal upgrade.
Sure.
Alcohol usually costs about $500 a shot, or the meal upgrade costs $3,500 per meal. Or for dinner, you can also just do a good old rice, bean, and chicken the whole time through. That's what you get. And for breakfast, you get just plain oatmeal.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I see the design in trying to test your limits of how sparse you can do it.
Very, very much so. And some people in this season, this is the first season where I've seen someone do it where they make it all the way through with none of the luxuries at all. They just did it straight through.
Raw dogging it.
Just straight raw dogged it. The meanest part of this competition, right? So in most normal game shows, right, they put on these challenges, and in the challenges, you have the opportunity to what? Usually win money. Here, the challenge is
lose.
You don't lose, or else you lose money, which I thought was like, there's no
pure punishment.
It's pure punishment.
That's
almost all the way through. But there's like some entertainment value because there's always these people who come in with sort of different intentions. There's the people who are the gamers who have sort of like the strategy, want to play the game. It's a real fun social experiment just to kind of sit and watch through. And it's for some of these people, it can become really tough because most of them are very well established, have been living some sort of luxurious life.
Yes.
And now you have nothing but you, your friends, the brick walls, and nothing else to entertain you with. They do give you a gym. That is the one thing they do allow.
I was going to say, because that really does, there are certain like minimums that a film production has to accommodate to the people on set, including those.
Like I said, there's always opportunities. Like they bought cornhole one day. You can always buy. I think they have a pool table in there, but of course you got to buy the pool walls and the cues. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting. Like, no, clearly the niceties were there and available, just at a price.
Yeah,
and that is the.
And of course, in this one, there's only gonna be one winner at the end, and they win whatever is left in the prize pool after everyone's been going through, which is tough.
That is a little rough, yeah, knowing that like even if you're disciplined, other people can be wasting your potential prize.
Yeah, and the hard part is like every episode, I think, except for maybe the first, usually you have to eliminate somebody, but how do you choose who to eliminate and whatnot?
Who's spending the most?
You would think that's how it goes, but it does not all the time, because it's funny enough that the person who's always spending the most is also the one that's playing like the game within the game.
Yeah.
Which is like, come on now.
Yeah, very funny to see the weaponized capitalism, I guess.
It's
a good game mechanic.
It is a good game mechanic. I didn't watch the first season that was on Netflix, but they did do one they did the original one on YouTube as just sort of a premise proof of concept, and it got such good reviews that Netflix is like, hey,
yeah, willing to pick it up.
We'll slide you some chunk change to do so. And this one was the first one that did inside the US, which is special because they're from the UK, but every season's always kind of a mix of UK US people within the confines of this prison that they have built.
Interesting. Well, that's a couple of, or at least a handful of good Netflix recommendations if anyone needs something to watch. If you're looking at more current affairs, though, why don't we talk about what happened in the WNBA this week, Zach?
Which piece of the WNBA?
Let's.
What do you want to go? Happy or sad first?
Let's start with what's happening on the court first, and then we'll cover all the drama off the court.
Yeah, on the court, we finally have our finals matchup. Unfortunately, the Lynx did go down. They kind of went down in fire between injury and losing their coach in what was a crucial must-win game for them. So Mercury did end up taking the series from them sort of early on. And what is the opposite? Ladies sweep. Usually it's the gentleman's sweep, but we're in the W here. And the Aces and the Fever fought to the very end, going to a sudden death game 5 match, which the Aces came out victorious, and it was not. It wasn't scary at all. Overtime, I love me some overtime. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, you got some free basketball, free playoff basketball.
Free playoff basketball when the Fever in that game had lost another starter, unfortunately, but the overtime kind of proved too much for them because you're kind of now down 4 of your 5 starters.
An incredible run from that Fever team, considering who they were missing.
Far exceeded expectations, especially for what they've been going on. I think they are going to be a very scary team looking forward. Once they get back their whole team, which may be a little bit longer now, having the duo of Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell on the floor, scary, because Kelsey Mitchell almost damn near did it herself, taking him to the finals.
Yeah, big potential upgrades to the roster that was, right there in that overtime to make it into the finals. But there is, so we talked about, the finals matchup. Has that finals series started yet?
They are starting tonight here, and we're recording on a Friday night once again. They're going to start in about 30 minutes.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll have some updates on how that finals series is going next time. But yes, some controversy off the court, especially with some of those star players.
Yeah. Nafisa, in her exit interview after the playoff game, decided that she was going to go scorched earth a little bit and call out the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, I think is her name, basically calling her out, saying that she is not running the league very, very good, and said some things such as Caitlin Clark should be
thankful for her,
to have the opportunity to play in the WNBA and to get the sponsorship she deserves, and that players should be thanking her for all that she does and getting her the big TV contract.
Yeah, many of these claims, which were at no point refuted by the commissioner, who did make a statement in reply.
It was a light refusal. She's like, "That's not."
She said, "I'm sorry that Nafisa characterized our conversation that way," or something.
Yeah, which is like, I didn't.
But it's not. That's not the same as I wholheartedly did not say those words.
It's not. Anything. I didn't say that. I didn't say it like that.
Yeah, which is a fine detail, but for sure. A strange back and forth.
Yeah, it's caused a little bit of controversy because Nafisa being the vice president, and I think Stewart's the president of the PA, who also run the Unrivaled League. Nafisa has basically said, I don't know how you can possibly run this so poorly when now that I know what it takes to run a league, it's not all that difficult to do what you're asking. Well, the big complaints were the officiating, which was been pretty god awful, and they've allowed a lot of physical play, which Nafisa believes led to some of the injuries. Her injuries, Caitlin's, everyone's sort of losing their big stars.
A pretty common theme the last couple seasons has been big names being down.
Especially watching the playoffs this year, it's been pretty rough. even from my own eyes, and I've only seen high school refs, and it's been bad even to that part. But that and like what we've already talked about with the contracts, it's been not ideal. So she's saying, how can you do this so poorly when I am a player playing in a league? I have my own thing over here, and I can do all the things that the players are sort of asking and wanting me over here.
Yeah, it's a pretty rare position of power to be in for the player side negotiator to also have experience on the administrative side of league, of running a league of your own like that, in the way that Stewie and Nafisa do. So yeah, that to me 100% was like, regular season's over, shots fired, we're in negotiations now, and there is a deadline on that for like the end of this month, if I remember correctly.
I don't know how well that's going to go. I think what would be best was if Kathy probably stepped aside and went away, but I don't think that's going to.
Certainly doesn't sound like she's planning to do that.
It's bad when Stephen A. Smith's asking for you to even step down.
Yeah, a lot of people who have not had a lot of opinions on women's sports are now suddenly finding it very interesting.
Yeah, the Fever, who just had their exit interviews, I think today or yesterday, one of the two, also did not have super great comments about Kathy for the most part. Most of them try to avoid, except for Sophie, who continually gets fined almost every time on her own podcast for the criticism she's done. But tough to not criticize when it is like it is.
Yeah.
The craziest thing to me is when you have star players coming to you, and it's not only the ones that are losing, it's also everyone that's winning, saying that the officiating is bad, and Kathy saying, hey, only losers complain. Yeah. Only the losers complain. That's like,
it's like, no, Kathy, literally everyone on both sides.
That's what Nafisa was like, no, you not only the losers complain, we've won and complained. Everyone's like been complaining about how things have been run, especially on the court this season. It's been egregious.
Yeah, and certainly something that I'm sure the players' side will be sticking on in those negotiations. But yeah, it seems like they have a lot of ground to cover to meet in any sort of middle by the end of the month.
Yeah, I thought the MLB had a large hill to climb, but this one is, I think, almost equally as tough.
And even more damning for the league side is that a lot of players, not all of them obviously, but a lot are going to be participating in the Unrivaled League.
There's more bigger names that I saw. Like I don't think we got it. Well, Kelsey Plum might have. Kelsey Plum, I think, pulled out the very end. She's coming back. We have a couple more teams, I think, coming into the Unrivaled League. So. Not a good place to be if you're in the WNBA, especially if the option is there. The Unrivaled League, I think, could just say we're on strike and we'll just do a winter season or whatever, a summer season.
There's a competitor one as well that's still a 5v5.
There is the what is it called? Because I know a player that plays in it. It's where that one is a unique format too, where you go and you basically kind of get a new team every single week, and they mix and match.
Yeah.
It's the AU Pro.
Yes. That is the one. So yeah, not only the Unrivaled 3v3 League, but also this AU League, AU Pro League, which is Athletes Unlimited.
Athletes Unlimited, yes.
There we go. Unlimited, Unrivaled. Similar themes. Similar ideas. I think this is another one that is also like largely player driven.
It very much is. I don't think a player is in charge of the whole thing, but it's more receptive to player talks in general.
Okay, and they also do softball, lacrosse, and volleyball leagues as well.
Yep.
Very interesting. But yeah, all sorts of alternatives to the WNBA product if the players really had to. There is also going to be the roll up to. Well, no. Sorry, I was thinking of the PWHL has had to be scheduling around Olympics this year, but basketball's not going to be at the Winter Games.
No, because basketball played in the summertime, as most people do.
I mean, these days you could. I've seen some fun on ice versions of other sports.
Yeah, I don't.
Have you seen the German football on ice one?
Oh God, I can't even.
It's very funny. It's a lot of momentum physics. That you have to work out.
Not ideal.
No, not really.
Throw.
Thankfully, they've done the big padded blocks as their boards.
Sounds like just a game show waiting to happen.
A little bit. Speaking of other on the ice news, more a little local here. Eric Johnson, our Avs legend, has officially called it quits this week. He has officially retired after 17 full seasons. The 2006 number 1 draft pick, who I have gone through a whole roller coaster of love-hate relationship with, has called it quits. We have to give our little tip of the hat to EJ.
Yep, he was the longest term Colorado athlete for a little bit there.
Until he was released to the Flyers at the end of the 23 season, yeah. And we'll probably take a long... I mean, Charlie was behind him at like 15 or 14 or something, and Charlie's done too. So it's going to be a while before we have I
think Sutton is the next one. I
think Cortland Sutton is our current reigning longest.
Because I think it's like Sutton, Jokic, and Murray.
Mac has to be, and Landy has to be up there now too.
Oh, actually, it might be Landy. Landy might be it now. Landy Sutton.
That's much better.
Yeah, I think it's Landy Sutton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. And another thing I have to point out of the hockey world, did you see the Kaprizov contract?
I saw there was a Kaprizov contract. Also, I did not know what this child looked like. He looks like a child.
He's 28, I come to find out. So he's a little older than I anticipated here. But if folks who listen to This Week in Sports will remember that Kirill the Thrill, spurned Minnesota's offer of a $16 million contract, which would have been $2 million more than any other player in the league earlier this summer. And it was kind of doom and gloom. But the Minnesota general manager's like, no, we're good. We're making progress. It's going to be fine. And they came out earlier this week with a new peak setting, $17 million for this man over 8 years, $136 million total. And starting in the 26-27 season when this extension kicks in, that will be 14% of their cap space.
Walked into the bank and just robbed them. Basically.
Now that sets $17 million for Kirill Kaprizov, who is very good, but is not Connor McDavid, is not Cale Makar. Both of those gentlemen will be negotiating contracts now in this next calendar year. What do those two men walk away with, if not $20 million and like $18 million?
What is the term limit on him?
8 years is the max.
The max
you can get now for until next September, and then 7's your max.
Yeah, I think the yearly is going to be massive, but you're going to be short a year now, which sort of is what it is. Just pray to God that cap continues to go.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the big thing. And then looking at Nate still has like 6 something years at 12 is going to be such a bargain when Connor
by the time he's ready to re-sign.
Yeah,
again.
When we have to pay him $30 million, and that's going to be fine because. Yeah, everyone else will already have signed into the mid-30s or something. But yeah, it's almost certainly going to be a $20 million price point for Connor McDavid now. You'd have to think.
Who do you think?
Pretty close to.
Who is worth more, Connor McDavid or Cale Makar? Who sets the market?
I mean, little hometown bias, but Cale Makar is younger, and the offensive production he gives you out of the defense while also being a great defenseman is so much more valuable than Connor McDavid, who is not like top of the world defensively.
Really the only one who can lose is I think Connor McDavid, right? Because if he signs first, Cale's just going to ask for maybe a little bit more, right?
Maybe.
You would assume, or
he might be a good old boy and give us a little discount.
Maybe I highly doubt that. I think
give us just a little hand here. 18 will double up the 9 he's making now.
Yeah, that's possible, very very possible. But like. If he signs 18, would you go to Connor McDavid and be like 17.5?
You'd have a hard time arguing it for sure. And I'm glad I don't have to, because that's going to be some not poor agent, but some agent's job.
How do you feel about our friend who is Martin Necas, who's just now our brand new, not quite the same.
Our new Rantanen?
Rantanen, yeah.
Yeah, with the same issue.
Our off-brand Rantanen.
We definitely have time. It's less than ideal that we didn't get a nice, smooth, over the summer thing worked out, but that kind of wasn't the temperature of the room, obviously, after the playoffs.
I don't know if he wants to be here.
And, you at least have to get to that answer, though, at some point during the season if you're C-Mac. So I think he will. I have faith in him. He's done it so far. He's figured it out. He solved our goalie problem.
Can we trade him back for Rantanen?
to the Dallas?
Yeah. No,
probably not. Honestly, because Natchez probably fits Dallas even less than he fits with us.
Connor McDavid. I like that.
No. The rumblings have always been ship Natchez out to Pittsburgh for Crosby.
Oh, that's like I don't know if that's a downgrade.
Ceiling wise, maybe, but feels wise, we get that.
The floor is that he does have the wider margin for things because his floor was bad.
His floor was not great. He can just sort of disappear out of that, and you don't want that out of a top 6 guy. But when he's on, he can flip it on pretty good. Not Rantanen good, not Moose style so often, but it's still a pretty good ceiling.
Yeah, I don't know.
The ideal is we get him locked in like the 6-7 range if that's doable for some term. Like maybe I would take 3 or 4 years at like 7 or 8. He'll get out to still have one more probably good contract on the end of that if he doesn't actually like it. That's a movable contract, and I don't think he's going to get. He's not going to get 9.
No, I think you need 3 years to make it like work for everybody. If we don't like it and you don't like it, then we can ship you off, and someone's not back in the same position that we just had, where you're on your contract year when you actually get to play the full year with them. But
yeah, that's the idea anyway. Any other sports news? So our Rockies season officially over.
Oh no!
Yeah, the shakeups. We set that National League record for most losses. We set the all-time record for worst run differential.
Yeah, we were getting smacked.
Negative 462 runs or something. Ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it's surprising. They're going to be looking at that and be like, "How did you not have the most losses in MLB history?"
It's kind of wild. And what else? Oh, and then the day after the season ended, Bill Schmidt, the GM, stepped down, which is like the only thing he could do.
Yeah, lit the place on fire, but yeah.
Yeah, basically. So that's the state of the Rockies. Your top pitcher coming into the year, Germán Marquez, is now a free agent. And probably not going to get re-signed here.
I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know who's going to be willing.
He'll be a bullpen guy or something for someone at like a way lower price.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
There's always enough to like need to have arms.
Very few Rockies pitchers who leave here like okay. I can only think of one.
Who was that?
Ottavino. He had a very decent
who was already good before he came to us.
Yep.
Came to us and went kind of roller coastery. We had some highs, we had some lows, and then left and still continued to be good.
Yeah, which I don't think the roller coaster is his fault. That's just kind of
that's what happens in Rockies.
Can't win a game if you're only allowing 2 runs a game.
Yeah, but no, I think like even John Gray got waived by the Rangers earlier this year or something.
Yeah,
sent down to AAA. After like a year removed from being in the rotation.
There's not another Rockies pitcher I can think about that has left here because Ubaldo fell apart as soon as he left. Yeah. Fuentes didn't really hear about him afterwards.
We got him after like kind of the back end of his career anyway.
Yep. Did Frankie ever leave here?
Frankie went to Boston.
And then he came back or something like that?
He bounced around a little bit.
Yeah, but he was not...
Everyone else realized what a roller coaster ride Frankie was.
Yep. Houston Street when we sent him out for
we rang all the juice out of Houston Street before we sent him to Oakland. Yeah.
Then everyone else
that is quite the list and covers quite the range of time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't because everyone else comes here and dies like the Francis's and who else?
No, Jeff Francis was homegrown.
He was, but he lived and died here.
Yes.
Cook.
Yeah, I mean, you're just naming the all-time list of Rockies pitchers.
Yeah, they just kind of come
Francis
here. They come here, live here, die here.
We got De La Rosa after a couple of years with the Royals, and then he was a Rockies. Yeah,
if you can't pitch, if you're not good enough to be serviceable, Rockies serviceable, which is not the same across the board. Sure. Here, where can you be serviceable?
It's a great question, but everyone in the league still gives it a try every now and then. So I don't think we've seen the last of Herman in the big leagues for sure. He's still gonna kick around for a little bit. But so that's your top pitcher. Your number 2 was Senzatella. He still has a year on contract.
Woof.
At the, I think he had
what was
league worst in runs, league worst in hits, league worst ERA.
What was he finishing? What is his finishing ERA? It has to be like 6 or 7, which is it might even be higher than that, but it was bad.
Antonio Senzatella finished the 2025 season with 4 wins, 15 losses, and a 6.65 ERA. Oh, he brought it down quite a bit in the end there.
Yeah, well, because he was in the bullpen.
He was he was in the 8s for a while, so yeah.
It helps when they only let you pitch a couple innings. I mean, you were only making a couple innings anyway, but
yeah. A 6.65, a negative 0.5 WAR. So he was actually detrimental to the team.
We have a lot of those actually running around in the Rockies.
We for sure do.
That was going to be a quiz for the This Week in Sports, but yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. 130 innings pitched. That's the second most in hit.
The fact he got 4 wins this year has to be like a miracle.
It's one of those things you're going to feel bad if you were one of those 4 losses.
Absolutely. Manning gives up 6 runs and still wins the game. The Rockies had to score like 20 of those games.
Yeah, looking back at this track record, it's rough because this was his first full season after missing both of the last 2 seasons.
He had a good start and then he got the injury and he's kind of not been the same, which understandable, right?
Yeah, for sure. He had that 2020 year where he put up a 344 and never quite got back there.
Nope.
I think that's just the way. And then you have Kyle Freeland, who, again, we've covered.
The hometown hero.
He's all heart, but not a lot of arm.
No, he had the one good year to his name where he got a pitch here. But other than that, he's been okay. Never been our ace per se.
No, and I think that was like a topic of debate was like, does our staff even have an ace? And everyone was like, no.
I mean, you have to have one by default, but like
you can have a number 1 starter, but that's not the same as an ace.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess we use the term a little loosely. Our number 1 guy is not an ace, but he is an ace to us.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got, those were our 3 guys we knew for sure. And as we saw, the 4 and 5 spot went to anyone and anyone who could pitch. Basically, this year got a chance to do a start for the Rockies and lose a game within about 3 innings.
It's been it's crazy to see the amount of turnover that they've had this year, just from everywhere, from manager down. Because, like, I assume we're going to see the Warming Barnaby back again. He probably are one of our best players besides Hunter behind the plate, who cannot throw the ball to save his life, but boy, can he hit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, really, there's no position in the organization across the board that couldn't use upgrading. Like, top to bottom, at any level, we can be better, basically, at every spot.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know what...
We do not have, like, at least in the old days, there was like a Todd Helton or a Nolan or a Troy or a Car. It was like, we at least have one of the best right fielders and one of the best shortstops. We can't say that about anything. We had a little window where we were like, we still have center fielder, Brenton Doyle, pretty good. And then he fell off a cliff this year.
He had been having a rough go, yeah.
Yeah.
Bud Black's ideology of what this team had to be so bad. Like, he just had to have mailed it in every single day just to collect a paycheck.
There's only so much you can do with like the pieces you're given.
I understand, but the new guy was like, okay, let's figure out sort of what's working around here. Like, we probably would not have seen Barnaby this year had it not been for our new guy.
And a handful of injuries up across the system too. Like, as fun of a story as Warming Barnaby was for like how quickly he acclimated, and I will also say after that hot week, he cooled down quite a lot and never quite got back into a groove. And then ended the year on injured list, like his tradition. So, not to say like we saw a nice little flash, but that's maybe not necessarily what he's going to do all the time at the big league level, because he was a AA player this year. He's like, him being in the big leagues is sort of a sign of a poorly run organization more than it is a sign of him being
Yeah, I think
super
we
talented.
were like number 30, I think, on the like prospect list for the MLB. Which is not a great sign for where we are.
Yeah, considering and even for the couple of moves we made this year to get prospects back in return, did not really make a dent in the rankings of our system at all. So it's a rebuild job from top to bottom. But the team has said that they are looking outside the organization for the first time in forever. Although I did hear the first name that came up was someone who works for the Twins now, but did come up in the Rockies organization.
Outside of the organization means that guy used to work for us.
Yeah. So we will see. That is a now open position to be the GM of the Rockies, and
literally no one could do any worse.
I may or may not submit a resume. We'll see.
No one could do worse. Quite literally.
It's a great vote of confidence. I appreciate that. Zach, what are you playing these days while we're in between these big releases coming up?
I have this problem, right, where I have, and I'm in a little bit of a bind myself. Was just thinking about this, right? So one, I have all the consoles, right? I have my computer, I have my Steam Deck, I have the Switch too.
Your options are plentiful.
I have plentiful options, but I don't know what to even play anymore, right?
Decision paralysis.
It is a little bit of decision paralysis because they will not give me the current gen on the PC and the Steam Deck that I would like and need. So I'm almost slightly tempted to go get a PlayStation Portal.
Oh boy!
To actually
to be able to
just to be on current gen handheld allegedly.
Yeah.
But at what point do I get my current gen?
Right.
But for me, I've been waiting for the new Pokemon to come out. I have been really, really tempted to jump back into Cyberpunk. Just have not yet. That is the one game I love to play, but I have not.
Sat down with it for the whole.
I have not sat down for the whole story. I probably have gotten about 10% of the story in before I have to restart or remember what I'm doing. Just throw it away.
Yeah. You step away from the game for what feels like a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden it's been 8 months, and you're like, I don't remember what any of the buttons are.
Nope, restart. Just fresh restart, new character. That one didn't even exist. So I've done that probably about 50 times with Cyberpunk, but it's been really, really fun. And when I do play it, it's I play it for weeks at a time, and then I stop, and then
as you do.
Yeah. But that's what I've been up to, at least in the gaming world. I've been playing a lot of JRPGs as of lately, because my favorite one I like to have sort of the strategy aspect of the game, turn-based, ideally is my favorite thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to have long gameplay, so 60 plus hours. If we can reach that 100 mark, that's where I'm real happy, and I like to have decisions, which most JRPGs kind of give me control over.
Absolutely. Have you taken a look yet at Final Fantasy Tactics, the remake?
I have not yet. What I've recently just beat is I went and played Final Fantasy VII remake. I think it was the Anagram version even, but I bought it on my computer, and then I need to play the second part of
the
it.
PS5 exclusive one?
Well, what used to be the PS5 exclusive. They're releasing them everywhere now because gamers have all agreed that
exclusivity sucks.
Everyone should get everything. Maybe not all in current gen, you bastards, but everyone gets everything. But there's the 4 parts that we know for the Final Fantasy. It used to be the 1-2 disc game.
The original Final Fantasy VII game, yes, has had to be chunked out for the remaster.
And I've completed part 1 now twice, and now I need to jump over to part 2, but I haven't had the time or haven't had the heart yet to do so, because I was hard into the first part.
Sure. I would definitely recommend giving Final Fantasy Tactics a look, because it kind of checks all of those boxes for you. It's the strategy, turn-based, it's the terrain, kind of little isometric battle maps that you have to negotiate around, with a very fun sort of class juggling mechanic where you can be set it, you pick what class to be leveling per encounter to develop those skills, but then you can kind of mix and match your skills across to build a custom class.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of, it's called the Trails of Games series. I've been playing Cold Steel because it kind of fits into the categories that I like. But that one was a little bit of a culture shock for me, because the mechanics are not completely different, but it's not how me and you have played sort of
that traditional formula.
Yeah, because usually it's you have your attacks and then you have your special move set, which this one kind of breaks the mold. You have your attacks, you have your special move set, and then you also have the magic on top of that. And you have to figure out it takes a second to figure out what replenishes when and when to do things. And then like on top of that, you have sort of the rock, paper, scissors, except there's like 6 different types of magic that things are weak to. And some things are impervious to like physical attacks and only require magic attacks. It was a lot, but that's what I've been up to lately. What about you?
I have just picked up on sale the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Which is a
huge Steam sale right now. The fall sales.
The autumn sale is on. Classic, time of year sale for the Steam library, which always hard not to just get a bunch of games and know you're not going to open them for a while.
Yeah, I have my library is massive right now. I've started one. One is tough. The combat in that is so much harder than any game I've ever played.
It is a unique real-time combat system that is very dependent on your mouse placement to counter the sword placement of your enemy.
It's
very timing dependent on button clicks and reactive clicks and combos and these sorts of things. So yes, a bit of a challenge. I did die 3 or 4 times just in the tutorial opening minutes.
There was in the original one. So in 1, there's like the first part is that you have to go get your father's stuff back from this guy, and it's like you can have an option to fight him. I was
bad choice. Yeah,
I spent I think probably 2 or 3 hours just trying to fight the dude. I was just like, no, we'll go another route for this.
Yeah, it's like okay, I will find out some other way to get through to that objective.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 carries on with the same character, Henry. Continues on, and you kind of make your decisions on. You have dialogue options on how Henry acts to other people, and if he's smart or not, and all that fun stuff. And then yes, there is a whole element of fighting for your life in medieval swordplay combat, which is generally does not go very well, but. The role playing elements and like the interaction with the characters has been good enough to keep like kind of pulling me through to like weather the storm.
I like this. I have a tough time sometimes playing through some of the games because it's like there's some games I like get really involved in and I like the story. Final Fantasy being one of those, and just kind of like getting to know the characters. And there's others that I just kind of like suffer through. Like I like my character, but I don't really care sort of.
Everyone else, I don't care what happens to you, but I'm getting to the good ending.
Yeah, I'm trying to just get to the good ending and make the playthrough. But it's just kind of like a lot of repetitive over and over again.
Speaking of games with lovable characters and whatnot, did you hear about the EA sale?
Did not.
So EA, the Electronic Arts Corporation.
Oh, they got bought out to go private.
They're going to go private in a like $54 billion deal, which does involve the Saudi Entertainment Fund or something.
A little worried about that.
Very problematic and suspicious. Is also going to saddle them with $20 billion of debt immediately in the short term. They will not have to like report to stockholders or anything anymore for like quarterly earnings, so they're a little freed up from that. But the forecast by almost all the media or like the financially literate people who write on the game sites is that they're almost certainly going to be doubling down on the pay to play games, the live service games, and probably selling off companies like BioWare that make beloved games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. That's their other role-playing one. Do they have any other?
Star Wars. They did the Star Wars ones. KOTOR. They're the original.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they weren't going to have that one under in the works anytime soon anyway, but yeah. And then BioWare's is one of the many companies that EA has folded into their umbrella that is now in danger of being kind of sold off for parts, essentially.
I kind of want BioWare to go elsewhere because after they've been under EA, the games have not been quite the same.
There's for sure been like the EA. It's like a juggernaut behemoth that is unwieldy to the games industry and not healthy for it in the long term at all.
EA's has not done anything really good since
the sports games are stale
because they just keep it's just
because you can't churn out a yearly because you can't in 1 year cycle you can't innovate the whole bones of it. You can just keep chugging out the same thing with different paints.
It's tough because they don't have an incentive anymore, right? Because before there was
there
was no like exclusive license with whoever, so you used to have the 2 football games and the 2 basketball games and the 2 hockey games, and they had to be inventive and bring something
you had
new to
to
the
have,
table.
a selling point to why this game is different, and you should buy this one
instead of the other one, where now it's just like
you have to buy this one.
Here's the game we.
You want to play basketball? Get on 2K.
Yeah. So I think
suffer these servers, fools.
Like this could open the door for 2K to do some cool stuff potentially.
See that there is that potential. There is also the potential that they literally get sold off for parts, and there is no BioWare anymore.
I think I think someone may be smart enough, at least in the gamer community, that at least try to keep the BioWare piece intact for the most part, or even try to grab back some of like the old classics, like the Mass Effect and the Dragon Age are beloved games to a bunch of different people, some of which are very, very rich and wealthy people, that they'd see the opportunity to bring this back to the sort of the golden age of gaming.
That would be huge for the rich nerds out there to invest in keeping those original companies alive as they used to be. But yeah, the most recent offerings in both of those franchises kind of fell flat to most even fans of those. Like Andromeda did not really.
I didn't hate Andromeda, but it wasn't as good as the first three.
It didn't get an immediate trilogy made out of it, and then same with Dragon Age Veilguard that came out just last year. I think also flopped pretty.
But that one is a sequel-ish kind of.
I mean, there's like 4 Dragon Age games.
Yeah.
But that is like the first one that came out since they were under EA.
The hopeful person in me is thinking like, all right, private fun, right? Saudi's big into their football, their soccer, and a bunch of other games. This is the opportunity for them to, maybe they got so upset playing EAFC that they're like, this is so garbage, I'm just going to buy the company and do it.
And make them do it better.
Do it better myself, yes.
Almost certainly that franchise is going to benefit from it for sure. But the other ones, maybe not. And certainly, any of the games covering, like, again, the role-playing games, mostly from BioWare, that would be covering any sort of controversial topics like personal identity or religion or anything like that, will almost certainly not be fostered as well by that company anymore.
Yeah, if they don't get, like, that's probably why they get sold off.
Yeah. So that is the landscape of gaming. Oh, the other, circle all the way back off that tangent, the other thing I'm playing besides Kingdom Come Deliverance, I have been working on a Stardew playthrough since the new patch finally hit console.
Some of the, like, I saw Bobby Lee, who's a comedian. He is he had an interview with just the creator, which is just one dude and sort of his team that's creating this. But the overwhelmingness of Stardew, I started it a few years ago, haven't picked it back up. Some of the farm sims get overwhelming because you do all the stuff, right? And then you get the patches and whatnot, new stuff, and then you have to come back and fix everything up once again and do it all over again. So it's a lot right now for me to even think about doing something in Stardew. For
sure. So the 1.6 update, which is has been out for a little while for the PC folks, that one came early to them. It took a long time, like about 8 months before it finally hit mobile and console versions. Included, it was kind of like the biggest quality of life update and had like the big new content chunk before Concerned Ape, who is the no longer solo developer, but he did get it like 95% of the way to where it is by himself, fully music, animation, game programming.
And the dude is not a human being.
And he's
like, that's insane.
And he's off to do his next game called The Haunted Chocolatier, which we've already seen some demo bits of, but is probably still a fair bit away from actually being playable or released.
Yeah, he also had like I said, the whole interview, and one of Bobby's gripes were that it was not on his Switch already. The patch was not on his Switch, but he asked him like, would you do a Stardew Valley 2? And he was like, well, tough to say, because it's tough for me to want to take, like, where Stardew Valley is now is like almost, I don't want to call it perfect, but it's pretty near perfect, like to get all the quality of life and
it's polished
and everything
very finely.
Very finely polished is like the biggest headache of a game. So it's easier for me to take what's already polished and keep adding on the cool stuff there than to take something
start over
brand
from
new
scratch,
and start off from scratch
and have to repolish it. Yeah, for sure. Which he's gonna do now with This is not going to be the exact same formula, but it is a very similar aesthetic to Stardew Valley in the like pixel 2D world. Same style because again he's not solo anymore, but he is still largely in charge of making these games.
Yeah, it's not a big team, but it's him and some.
He's hired some folks to give him a hand and make it reasonable timelines to get this massive thing done. So Haunted Chocolatier we're looking forward to. I'm playing some Stardew Valley. Because one of the things in this patch was a new farm type that gave you a starting chicken coop. And your farm grows special grass that makes your animals like you better, faster. So it lets me. I'm doing basically a rancher run on this one, where we're not really reliant on crops. We're doing animal, and I just got
the husbandry, as they call it in the Civ world.
Indeed. So I just got my deluxe barn and deluxe coop built right before the end of year 1. That was great because I knew that was my plan going the whole way through. Normally in a base map where farm, you don't have the chicken coop to start, and it takes a fair bit of wood and money and stone to save up for that chicken coop. So having one off the get-go is a huge advantage and lets you build up all the way so that by winter, when normally it's like, here's the first curveball of the game. In winter, no crops grow. How are you going to make money? You're like, I don't have any animals. I already had animals. So I was fine for the winter. We were still making bank.
The other trap I fall to in most simulators, especially the life ones, is I just want to go chill and fish. Not super money helpful to the farmer or my life in general.
You have to have a river farm then, where you can just fish on your farm.
Yeah, but also it takes like the amount of time it takes to fish. And you got to get the good fish.
Stardew especially kind of wants you to. You have to kind of engage with all the other elements, like doing the caves and going and doing the little side quests for the NPCs and stuff, so that you can unlock more of the things, and then the game gets easier. It is a little annoying in that fact where like it's a little bit of a roll before you get self-sufficient in it.
Yeah.
I think that's plenty of action for this week's 321 Presents. Why don't you take us out there, Zach?
Thank you guys for joining us for episode 2 of our brand new podcast here. If you guys like us, please do give us a review. Give us a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're listening there. Eventually, we will be coming on Apple. I'm talking to the techs there to figure out why we know work yet. But we will be there hopefully very, very soon. If you do find us on either one of those, if you are on Apple listening to this eventually, please do give us a 5-star rating. Same thing over on Spotify. Leave comments. Tell us what you want to talk about, what you want to hear on the podcast, get our takes on. But thank you guys for being here.
Yeah. I'm going to do an engagement bait thing, and I think I'm going to give this one a slightly different audio, and we're going to leave it up to a viewer vote to see who likes which intro music better.
Sounds good.
So viewers, go check out the socials and fill out the polls. We'll count all the votes, so vote multiple times on all the platforms, and let us know which music you like better.
Absolutely. And if you have not checked out our website yet, 321pods.com, 321pods.com. Please do so. We have lots of content there from various podcasts and from a couple different creators. We do have someone on Twitch there as well. You can go give a follow to. But thank you guys for joining us this week. We will see you guys next week.
Adios.